Imagine living in a place where everyone knows you're suffering, yet no one lifts a finger to help. The true horrors of Bedeviled lies not just in the physical and emotional torment, but the community's passive acceptance of it. How does a society become complicit in such cruelty? How do the bonds of community become chains of silence? This chilling complicity is not merely a backdrop, but a pivotal force driving the narrative of Bedeviled. Before we start, if you haven't watched Bedeviled yet, I highly recommend you to do so before diving into this video, as there are major spoilers ahead. Welcome to Cinema Discourse, where we delve in the intricate layers of cinema to uncover hidden meanings and explore the art of storytelling. Today, we are diving into the haunting and intense world of this Korean film, Bedeviled. Join me as we peel back the layers of Bedeviled to understand its deeper messages that makes it a standout in the realm of psychological thrillers. This is Cinema Discourse, and today we are about to uncover the darkness that lies beneath the surface of this unforgettable film. Bedeviled is a compelling 2010 South Korean psychological thriller filmed by Jang Chol-soo. The film dwells in the themes of isolation, violence, and the complexities of human condition. Despite being overlooked in the realm of Korean cinema, it intricately explores the dark underbelly of rural life and the societal constructs that perpetuates cycles of abuse. Today we'll thoroughly analyze the film, paying close attention to its thematic depth, narrative structure, and the societal complicity towards violence. The movie starts by introducing Haewon, a disillusioned and emotionally detached bank worker in Seoul. Her life in the city is characterized by apathy and a sense of disconnection, starkly contrasting with the rural island of Mudo, where she spent her entire childhood summers. The contrast between urban and rural setting is crucial, as it sets up the central conflict of the story. Haewon's return to Mudo is not just a physical journey, but a symbolic one. It represents a return to her past, a place steeped in memories and unresolved trauma. The seemingly idyllic island, with its picturesque landscape, soon reveals itself to be a microcosm of patriarchal oppression and brutality. Haewon and Boknam represent two different experiences. Haewon, distant and unemotional, embodies the emotional isolation found in the urban life. On the other hand, Boknam symbolizes rural suffering. She remains warm and optimistic despite facing harsh circumstances, contrasting sharply with Haewon's cynicism. Boknam's life on the island is a constant nightmare. She suffers both physical and emotional abuse from her husband and other islanders, who view her merely as a servant. This mistreatment goes beyond personal interactions, shedding light on the deep seated misogyny within this secluded community. One of the most striking scenes that encapsulates the film's exploration of abuse is the one where Boknam is brutally beaten by her husband while the other villagers look on indifferently. The scene is not just a display of physical violence, but a powerful metaphor for a societal complicity in the face of injustice. The villagers' passive acceptance of Boknam's suffering underscores the collective responsibility for the perpetuation of such abuse. At its essence, Bedevilled dwells into the profound repercussions of remaining silent and inactive in the face of adversity. Haewon's reluctance to intercede in Boknam's distress is not only a personal shortcoming but also a reflection of the widespread societal apathy towards the suffering of others. Symbolically, the island of Mudo holds significant power. It serves as a representation of isolation, extending beyond its geographical remoteness to encompass emotional and moral seclusion. The insular community on the island parallels the character's sense of detachment, particularly Boknam, whose pleas for assistance echo unheard in her isolated struggle. The village's collective reluctance to intervene in Boknam's suffering is a pivotal demonstration of community complicity. Despite being aware of the ongoing abuse inflicted upon Boknam by her husband and other men on the island, The villagers purposefully ignore these atrocities. Their shared silence is motivated by a desire to uphold existing social order and evade confrontation. The women of the island often gossip about Bokna, but do nothing to help her. They view her suffering as an unfortunate and inevitable part of life, reflecting their internalized acceptance of patriarchal oppression. In certain instances, the villagers directly engage in inflicting torment upon Bokna. Their active participation is evident through their direct involvement in acts of violence and their reinforcement of oppressive social norms. The cultural and social norms within the island community profoundly contribute to perpetuating Boknam's abuse. The deeply entrenched patriarchal values dictate strict gender roles, emphasizing women's subservience to men. Any woman who dares to challenge this norm faces punishment, further reinforcing the cycle of abuse. When Boknam attempts to escape the island, the entire community bands together to capture her, reinforcing the idea that her place is within the confines of their oppressive society. Haven presents a nuanced portrayal of urban indifference and passive complicity. Initially aloof and self absorbed, her character development serves as a poignant commentary on the ethical consequences of remaining inactive in the presence of injustice. It's evident that Haven's emotional detachment in the city is not just a personal attribute, but also serves as a commentary on the broader issues of societal apathy. Her reluctance to empathize with the struggles of those around her mirrors the widespread indifference that often enables injustice to persist unchecked. In this pivotal moment, Boknam desperately seeks Haven's help to escape the island with her daughter. Haven's discomfort is palpable as she deflects Boknam's pleas, insisting she cannot get involved and suggesting Boknam endure her situation. Haven's refusal to act solidifies her complicity as she prioritizes her own comfort over Boknam's dire need for help. Haven's complicity becomes more painfully clear when Boknam's young daughter is tragically killed. The child's death serves as a catalyst for Haven, forcing her to confront the consequences of her inaction. But her passive complicity does not allow her to engage and support Boknam, and she chooses to leave the island. In the film's climax, Haven is drawn into a direct confrontation with Boknam, who is now seeking revenge against the entire community for their complicity in her suffering. The story culminates in a tragic yet inevitable conclusion, where the consequences of collective and individual complicity are fully realized. Haven's character arc is completed with a profound moral awakening, albeit too late to undo the damage done. Her journey serves as a powerful commentary on the dangers of apathy and the necessity of confronting injustice head on. Haven's journey in Bedeviled serves as a thought provoking exploration of the impact of apathy and the importance of taking a stand against injustice. Her transformation from an indifferent urban professional to woman wrestling with the guilt of her inaction invites viewers to consider their own roles in perpetuating or combating societal wrongs. Bedeviled powerfully explores the themes of community complicity, demonstrating how collective silence and passive acceptance can perpetuate cycles of abuse and oppression. Through its harrowing narrative and complex characters, the film underscores the moral responsibility of individuals and communities to confront and challenge injustice. The breakdown of this theme serves as a poignant reminder of the impact of societal apathy and the necessity of standing against systematic harm. As we have journeyed through the harrowing narrative of Bedeviled, it's clear that the film is not just a tale of individual suffering, but a stark portrayal of how a community's silence can amplify and perpetuate cruelty. In Bedevilled, we see how the village's collective inaction and passive acceptance of abuse create an environment where violence and oppression can thrive unchecked. This film challenges us to reflect on our own communities and the ways in which we might be complicit through our silence. It prompts us to consider the moral responsibilities we have to speak against injustice, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. By highlighting the devastating consequences of community complicity, Bedeviled forces us to confront the uncomfortable truth that evil is not just the result of malevolent individuals, but also of societies that choose to look the other way. Thank you for joining me on the exploration of Bedeviled here on Cinemac. If you found this analysis thought provoking, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of cinema. Until next time, stay curious, stay captivated, and discover the depth of cinema on Cinema Discourse.